Welcome to the next episode of the vSphere Breakroom Chats. I am Shobhit, your host, Product Marketing Manager at VMware for vSphere, and I work on AIML projects. In this series, we bring VMware and partner experts to talk about VMware's vSphere and cloud products. These fabulous experts will also share their background, industry trends, stuff that they're hearing from customers, and IT experts in general about the industry and industry trends. So lots and lots of good fun stuff to learn and hear from these experts. So tune in every week. So saying that, today's episode, I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning again. We brought our expert Justin Murray a few weeks back, and now we're bringing our second new expert, Jim Brogan, into this. Jim is also a technical marketing architect and works on AIML. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Shobhit. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Jim, can you share a little bit about your background, your things you've been working on before? This is what you're doing at VMware today. And then most important question, what's your favorite drink?
All right. I started out as a hardware engineer on mainframe computers at Amdahl Corporation, moved to software, started working in technical positions in the field at several startups, simulation technology, IC companies, software companies. And the latest of those was a GPU virtualization startup called Bitfusion. They were acquired in 2019 by VMware, where I now work as a senior technical marketing architect, helping the field engineers do everything Bitfusion related and to do it well, of course. My favorite drink is hot chocolate. As sweet as it is, I just can't get enough.
Excellent. And mine's coffee, by the way, Jim. I'm just like you as well. I can't have enough of the coffee, but it makes me jittery if I have too much and some lack of sleep as well if I take more than 2 or 3 cups. So max, my body can handle really easily is 2. Any more than that, it starts causing sleep issues. So I try and stick with 2, but sometimes coffee can get very enticing, especially when you go to like these small coffee shops, right? Outside the typical chains. They're the ones that make the best coffee. So with that, let's get started. You've been an expert in this space now for several years now, like you explained, starting with simulation and now onto artificial intelligence. Like, what's your take on where is the AIML headed today, right? What's the high-level direction, so to speak?
It's the short answer is it is headed everywhere. It's very new and it's taking over every industry, or at least having a very large effect on every industry. It's a different type of software, it has fine-grained parallelism, it does an awful lot of computing, and you need to run it with accelerators. So we see it going everywhere. You name the vertical: manufacturing, medicine, education, retail, it's coming there. It is bringing a lot of innovation into the accelerator market because it's new. We can't predict exactly every change that's coming, but there will be a lot of changes. GPUs dominate today. In the software realm, it's, again, these approaches are new. We're seeing innovation still in the application space, in the frameworks like TensorFlow and PyTorch, and even software that optimizes and delivers and runs and organizes the software. But I think newest of all, where the thing that's really coming is proper virtualization for machine learning. I think over the next 5 years, we will see major enhancements in running machine learning properly in virtualized environments.
So, as I heard what you said, right? And I enjoy this space a lot, being, as you know, like being part of this space now. The space is complex, right? There's so many changes happening. Hardware accelerators are coming on. Platforms are, changing. Infrastructure platforms are changing. Like you said, front-end tools for, tool inferencing, reading, etc., is all kind of changing. It's pretty complex, right? So saying that, like, that's got to be causing issues for our enterprise customers, right? Like, and enterprise clients in general. So tell me, like, what are you hearing from customers?
The customers also feel almost all of them, that they're just getting started with machine learning. They know what they want to get from it, or some of them are kind of figuring it out, but most of them know what they want to get from it, but they're still learning how to set up the infrastructure, get to production. And as soon as the customer gets a little further down that road, then their ambitions grow and they feel set back on the learning curve again, because there's so much more that they want to do. One of the things we see, though, across customers, new or advanced, is their cost concerns. They have dollar budgets, they have power budgets, they have footprint limitations, and they want to address those with virtualization. I mean, that's what virtualization, its primary value is sharing a given set of resources and getting the most out of them. So I think the other thing we can mention is that these applications show us a strong trend of moving towards orchestration, running under Kubernetes, under TKG.
Got it. And so there's a lot of stuff here, right? A lot of stuff to unpack. Infrastructure issues, right? You've got cost challenges. You've got ramp-up challenges with brand new technology. There's got to be skill challenges as well, right? Like,
oh yeah,
right. I mean, I assume there's not enough talent out there in the market at the moment. Like, so that all adds up to, what are we helping customers to solve this, right? Like, if you don't have enough talent, right, experienced talent, right, because field is so brand new, you've got all of these challenges coming on. What is VMware doing today to help enterprise customers?
All right. So the biggest thing that we can do, and that we have 3 solutions for, is that hardware acceleration, making it accessible in these virtualized environments. The first solution, an older solution, is called Direct Path IO. That's where you have a VM. It's a virtual machine, but you can give it complete ownership of an actual physical piece of hardware. So you're not virtualizing the GPU itself, but you are bringing it as an accelerator to a VM that's running a machine learning application. We also support the NVIDIA libraries so that you can give a share of a GPU to a VM. While that VM boots and runs, before it shuts down, it has complete ownership of some partition of a physical GPU. So that's virtualizing the device itself, but it is permanent for the life of the VM. NVIDIA offers time sharing options as well as compute and memory hardware sharing options. Bitfusion takes a different approach. It's much more dynamic. It uniquely offers remote access to a pool of GPUs, dynamic allocation, along with the partitioning of the GPUs. So you can share serially, since it's a remote access, and you can share, I suddenly forgot the word, the non-sequentially.
Parallel?
Well, in parallel. I was looking for a different one. It'll come to me 8 minutes after we're finished talking. But concurrent is the word.
Yes.
You can get the concurrent sharing. Bitfusion works by intercepting the calls, the GPU compute calls, the CUDA API calls, and sends them to resources that have been allocated just for the lifetime of an application, not for the whole VM existence, but you run an application and free those resources. This makes it much more flexible and allows you to really increase the GPU utilization. We're also working on something called Project Radium, which will continue Bitfusion's path, running in application space, not as part of ESXi, not as part of even the operating system, but it will work at a higher level than a vendor-specific API. So it'll be a very general approach to virtualizing and pooling remote sources for dynamic allocation, especially within the AI ML arena. We will continue to support multiple solutions for machine learning and for GPU hardware virtualization, I think, in the coming years, and offer guidance to help you pick the solutions that are the best for your use cases.
Excellent. So running a little short on time, right? Like one quick question about who are we partnering with in this space?
Definitely with NVIDIA. We've mentioned them a few times, but we're also working with Intel, AMD, GraphCore, and other hardware vendors. On the software side, we are staying current with open source projects, TensorFlow, PyTorch, for example. We also work with proprietary vendors like H2O and Neurothink. We are working very hard with the Kubernetes so that these applications can be properly orchestrated. And this is, of course, the TKG effort and projects and work that we're doing. We're also working very closely with customers who are offering GPU as a service to their customers, as well as other cloud machine learning customers.
Terrific. So great explanation there, Jim. Thank you so much. Right, like
My
good
pleasure.
understanding what VMware is doing to help customers there, and good understanding of all the partners and issues there. So thank you, Jim, very, very much for your time today.
Glad to do it.
Excellent. And so with that, for the viewers, we're come to an end of this episode. I really appreciate Jim again for his time, and to everyone watching this episode. If you like this episode, then join back in next week for the next one. This is your host, Shobhit signing off. Have a fabulous day, evening, night, and week, whatever time you're watching. Bye, and until next time.